Hello, everybody. This is Chuck Wiger, State Senator for the area, and today I'm joined by Marri Smith. Hi, Marri.
Hi.
And Marri is a scholar. She is a student at North High, and I had the honor recently of going over to North High, my alma mater, and talking to the National Honor Society. They had an award ceremony. You were a part of the group, so congratulations on that milestone.
Thank you.
Great. And tell us, you've got the shirt on for the National Honor Society, scholarship, character, leadership, service, and kind of sums up the core pillars there. But tell us a little bit more about yourself, and you grew up in Maplewood?
Yep, born and raised in Minnesota. I've lived in the same house.
Well, share what street?
I live on Lark Avenue off of English.
Okay, good.
Yep. So that's fun. I don't know. I have always been involved in school and my church and this community. When I was in middle school, I was part of our SOS group, so it was like tobacco stuff, so I spoke at city council, which was fun.
Wonderful. And by the SOS, standing for?
We had it standing for Save Our Schools.
Save Our Schools.
Yes.
And this would have been at John Glenn?
Yes, John Glenn.
Since Lark Avenue, you'd be close there. Actually, my youngest daughter, Carolyn, was very active in that group and was involved in getting the ordinance changed for Maplewood, which puts the restriction for no smoking at the parks.
Yes.
So that's great. You're continuing this public awareness and activism.
Yeah. I like it.
Good. So you're active at John Glenn and in action type of projects. And tell us more about this. You mentioned at your church as well.
So right now, every Wednesday, I sing at church first up, and then I help at our Bible school every Wednesday. So I run games.
Wonderful. And you can mention the church if you'd like.
It's St. Mark's, so it's right across from the street.
Right from the school, right across from the school. I grew up on 12th Avenue, just a few blocks from there, so very good. So, and now you're at North High. You continue to be active, as you mentioned, with the St. Mark's and National Honor Society. Highlight some of these activities that you haven't referred to yet.
For National Honor Society, we've done a lot. Coming up in February, what we're really planning right now is our coffee house acts. So that's like our big talent show for the school.
Yes.
And NHS runs it. And on Halloween, we did trick or canning. So we walked around neighborhoods in North St. Paul and collected cans for the food shelf. So that was fun. I think that's been our biggest event.
Wonderful. And for the talent show, will you be singing?
I will not. I will just be helping run it.
Okay. Well, I bet you could.
Maybe. Don't know about that.
Well, wonderful. And the money that is raised in the fundraising efforts, any particular projects that you're aware of that it goes for?
It goes for a lot. Our state project this year we were just talking about is the Special Olympics.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what it's called, but so we're raising money and support for that, just so that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's got to be a great feeling knowing that you're giving back. And that's ultimately, I think, how you're remembered. It's what you gave others as opposed to what you accumulated yourself. So maybe that's a part of the final evaluation as well. So. Well, very good. And you're a junior now at North High. Tell us about a typical day and types of courses that you're taking.
A typical day, I drive myself to school, and then I have chemistry, history, calculus, and then my favorite class is my college and school teaching class.
Good.
So I get to...
So this is through the University of Minnesota?
Yes.
And you're getting college credit as a junior?
Yes.
So you're in college? At the university?
Awesome. It's my favorite class because I love the teacher. And then...
and for the college and the schools, and I'm a strong supporter of that, what particular course then are you getting credit for? It's
called... It's Intro to Teaching. So, and most college students don't take it until like the end of their teaching degree, so it's really cool to do it now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And the instructor, you want to give a shout out to your instructor?
Yes, Miss Leiden. She's amazing. I love her.
Great.
I had her last year too.
Oh, is she having an impact on you? And that's so much as how our careers may be sparked into particular areas, and then to obviously see the testimony and how you're radiating now that you're back in that to continue to get more.
Yeah.
So
it's a great cause.
Okay, so you have these, and then the National Honor Society would be a part of your extracurricular activities.
Yep, that we meet some Fridays in the morning. So those are the days I have to get up extra early because I have to be at school at 7.
Okay, so you're a junior, you're earning college credit. You're obviously on a track then after you graduate to continue your education.
Plan,
what are you thinking of?
Right now, the only college that I'm thinking of is the University of Minnesota Morris.
Okay, that's a great school.
Yeah, it's got a good teaching degree, and it's less than 3 hours away. So, and I don't want to be too far from home.
So you want to be a teacher?
Yes, I do.
Outstanding. And in the science area, or you mentioned the chemistry and others, but
in the math area, actually, yes.
What a need!
Yeah.
You'll be recruited soon, if not already. We have such a challenging need to get more teachers, and there's a shortage, and particularly in the area of the math, special ed, some of these real high challenging areas. And so that's wonderful that you're on a track to do that.
Yeah.
Good. And in addition to you're wanting to go to Morris, is there any other goals that you set for yourself?
Getting all A's, keeping my 4.0.
You're at a 4.0.
Yes.
Okay.
And then also I just started tutoring recently, so helping him. He's a 10th grader.
Okay, well, wonderful. In math or what area?
His is actually biology is what he needs help in.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I congratulate you and your parents too.
Yeah.
A job well done, and having such a positive impact on others. And tell me, just overall, how are things going for students at North? You're an exemplary student, and someone that is a role model. Tell us about for students that may not be doing quite as well. Obviously, there's not too many that are at your level academically, but they'll still do okay. But how's it going, and are there additional things that we might do to help out others?
I don't know. I think it's going pretty well. I think all the teachers are really good at making sure that they're there before school or after school some days. And for teachers who aren't using Remind, it's a little harder. So I would say that most teachers should go to Remind because they can text straight to the students. Students have cell phones, which is really nice and helpful. And then I think just getting to know the students helps a lot too. Because there are some teachers who just distance themselves, and it doesn't help learning.
No, you got to get as much information as you can. And what might be one of the top challenges that people your age are facing as you become adults, and in this world that the adults are trying to get better, but we need...
being told we're being prepared for the real world, like what we're living in isn't the real world, I think is the biggest struggle. Because I think a lot of people don't realize this hardness it is to be in high school nowadays.
Yes.
With everything going on.
The pressures. And give me some more example of that.
The peer pressures from our peers, not all the teachers having different policies on phones is hard. Not knowing where we fit in the school is hard sometimes. Yeah. And so it's just all the social dynamics. It's really hard to fit in.
Is there anything that, as a state legislator, that we might do to address that, or is it more at the building level?
I think it's more at the building level and the personal level.
Okay. And there's a student council as well.
Yes.
I don't believe you mentioned you're on that. I don't think it's possible
no.
for all your other things.
No, that would be very overwhelming.
Is student government responsive to needs?
Yes, they are. I think they're really trying. They implemented another dance this year, which is really fun because I think that helps people come out of their shell and interact with people. That is the neon dance, and that's actually right at the end of this trimester in a few weeks.
Great.
Yeah.
And do you have a chance to meet high school students at some of the surrounding schools? White Bear, Matamita, Gilmurray, Roseville. There's.
Not really. We don't really interact. We're kind of our own school.
Okay.
I know.
But they do have National Honor Societies.
Yes, National Honor Societies, yeah. And so that would be a fun opportunity just to talk with other people. Like I know for my all CIS classes, they go to the U of M one day and they interact with all the people who have that class.
Great.
Which I'm looking forward to next week. But
Okay.
it would be more fun to interact with more students in other schools and just see what their school day is like.
Okay. A hobby? Do you have time for hobbies?
I read a lot. Yes.
A favorite fiction book?
I don't think I have one. I just like realistic fiction. And so I pretty much read 24/7.
Okay.
And don't really pick favorites.
Online or both? Or
Both.
Okay.
I read on my phone sometimes, but I also have like a huge bookshelf of books that I read too.
And for the nonfiction, particular area that you like the most? Whether it's in the sciences or the history?
Nonfiction. So I don't really like history, but last year in 10th grade we have to do a research project.
Yeah.
So I was really interested in, there's a area in France that in the 1700s had like a beast. It was called the Bête de Gévaudan. And that was really fun to research. I do like researching when it's a topic I like.
Okay. I think you do like history, and you're just
Sometimes
it's how it's, or you mentioned your teacher in Leiden, and it's how
the teacher
presented, and very good.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you could change in the world, what would that be?
More appreciation for soldiers and soldiers' families.
Oh, well, very good. Tell me more about that.
My dad was in the Army for 32 years, as my jacket says.
Well, here, let's show the jacket. He was in the Army, and thank.
It's a PT jacket. So
wonderful. Well, my dad was in the Army and in World War II, and my daughter Angie, and my dad went to North High. My daughter Angie went to North, and right after graduation, and went to boot camp, and then to Iraq, and made it back home. But I share that special appreciation for our soldiers. So thank your dad, and that we appreciate that, because our freedom is based on the ability for us to protect our borders and all the other freedoms that we have.
Yeah, I think knowing that freedom is not actually free is a big part of people being appreciative, because they all think it's free. It's really not.
What a wonderful memorial cemetery, or the cemetery, but the pavers that we have right across from North High. And I've noticed that the choir often participates in programs and others, and so that's good. Is there a paver there for your dad, or if he, from the area, that'd be eligible? But
he was born in Japan because his dad was in the military and was serving over there.
Yes.
But he is from Texas. So.
Well, good. Yeah. Well, thank you for that shout out for our soldiers and their families, because we must never ever forget those. And as you so eloquently summarized it, and others have, freedom is not free.
No.
So wonderful. Any concluding advice for students that may be watching?
For students, just to try, and that teachers aren't out to get you, because a lot of the time, some of the time it does feel like teachers are out to get us.
Yeah, but to never give up, to try and understand, and how about for teachers, your advice?
For teachers, it would be also to just try and get to know your students, and see that most of the time they are doing their best, and when they aren't, there's an underlying reason.
And for parents?
For parents, just to be involved. My parents are really involved, sometimes too involved. And so it would just be to be there for your child.
Yes.
And give them what they need.
Good. Well, they've done a great job with you. I, again, congratulate you, Marri Smith, on your accomplishments, your recent induction into the National Honor Society, joining others throughout our country in a great group which represents many of the best leadership characteristics we're looking for the future, and you're making an impact now and an even greater one in the future. So thanks again.
Thank you.
May your dreams come true, Marri.
Thank you.
Thanks. And support our students. They're the future. Thanks.